Thank you for this opportunity to share my story. On my bucket list, I always thought about, maybe I want to be a keynote speaker. Not really, but here I am. Before I tell my story, though, I want you to think about a person or persons that you would consider a mentor and influenced you. What adults were committed, uplifting, and supportive to you while you were growing up and into your young adulthood? What qualities did they have? What did they do for you to encourage you or help you? What did they teach you, and what did you learn to pass on to someone else? There's some pens in the tables there, but if you'd like to, maybe go ahead and write down some names that you feel that those people that were influenced you, or maybe you feel like taking out your phone and writing that down. Perhaps you couldn't think of someone that you trusted to help you when you needed support. We know that 1/3 of youth don't have trusted adults outside of their immediate family in their life, and this is known as the mentoring gap. I hope you had someone to trust, but if not, maybe this is your chance to fill that gap. I feel that God has blessed me with a number of people that I would consider a mentor. These people have encouraged me, disciplined me, thanks Mom and Dad, challenged me, listened to me, believed in me, and have not judged me. They have been a positive example to me. They showed me many of the values that are important to the Partners organization. Values like being committed, uplifting, and supportive. These values have been consistent themes in my own volunteer experience. I found out about Partners after running in the Sharon of the Green 5K race in 2008. And by the way, the next one's coming up in March if you're interested in running in it. I had moved back home to Fort Collins the year before, and I wanted to give back to the community I grew up in. The race introduced me to Partners, and I decided to take the step to get involved. I had experienced the positive impact of others investing in me, and I had recently taken a job as an academic advisor at Front Range Community College. In my job, I have seen the need for mentors, and I've dedicated the majority of my career getting to help others. I wanted to help also outside of my job, and mentoring was that opportunity. I can't believe it's been 15 years, but in 2009, I was matched with Bryce. He was 9 years old and had recently moved to Fort Collins with his mother. His dad died of cancer before they had moved here, and as they were adjusting to being in a new place and city, his mom saw the need for a male role model, and I was lucky enough to try and help. Bryce was kind of quiet to begin with in those first interactions, but over time he became more comfortable. I think just being consistent, authentic, and supportive helped build that trust for both of us. We did a lot of activities in that first year of the partnership. We went bowling, ice skating, attended a cooking class, and got tickets to sporting events. I am grateful for the Partners organization and their sponsors that provided these opportunities. We were able to build a bond, and it set us up for success in our one-on-one time. The consistent check-ins, support, and encouragement from Partners helped guide us. I'd like to give a shout out again to the Partners organization, if you guys wouldn't mind as well. After that year was up, Bryce and I decided to commit to another year together, and Partners again put into action the values I've mentioned before. Be committed, supportive, uplifting. This also allowed my friendship with Bryce to grow. A memorable story I have with Bryce happened a few years into the partnership. Bryce was in the Boy Scouts and needed to earn a bike riding badge. He was not able to complete it at the scheduled time with his troop, so we decided to give it a try. We rode the Poudre River Bike Trail from Windsor to Greeley and back. It was a chilly Saturday morning in November while we took that task on. I think it was like 7 in the morning and probably in the mid-30s when we started. I don't think it got past like the 40s that day. We had to ride 50 miles, and there were certainly times I wondered if my hands and face were going to freeze. I was thankful for the sun on our faces at times to slightly warm us up. We rode to Island Grove Park and then to the Model Railroad Museum in Greeley before stopping in at Carl's Jr. to get a bite to eat. I'm pretty sure we also used the hand dryers in the bathrooms to warm our hands up. Thankfully, it warmed up a little bit for the ride back to Windsor, but we certainly had to encourage each other to keep pedaling. I was impressed that Bryce did such a good job, and I was proud of him. I don't recall him complaining or really wanting to quit either. It's cool to think that we were able to use some of the same values that I've mentioned before, We were committed to finishing the ride. We were uplifting and encouraging each other to keep going, and we were able to accomplish a goal while enjoying the challenge and just being supportive while spending time together. Bryce and I were matched for 9 years. We certainly did a lot in that time. We enjoyed activities coordinated through partners, such as go-karting in Estes, snowshoeing, archery, fishing, and hiking in the Poudre Canyon. We also enjoyed our own activities, and I had good conversations about life, goals, and even how to talk about with him how to handle a situation when he was being bullied at one point in middle school. I also enjoyed just supporting him, attending his orchestra concerts, participating in his Eagle Scout project, and seeing him graduate from high school. I felt that it was so important to be able to provide that consistency, support, and to just show up for him as he grew up, and that he knew I would be there for him. This mentorship has now become a lifelong friendship. Bryce graduated last May from the Colorado School of Mines. I was not able to... I wasn't able to attend his graduation because I was in Arizona attending my nephew's college graduation. But while I was waiting for my nephew's ceremony to start, I was watching the live stream on my phone of Bryce's graduation, and I got to see him walk across the stage and receive that diploma. You gotta love technology. Shortly after he graduated, he went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma to start basic training with the Army. Bryce had shown interest in the military in high school. I think his inspiration also came based on his dad, who was also in the military. Bryce participated in the ROTC while in college and was ready for the challenge to join the Army after he graduated. For the 9 weeks he was at Fort Sill, it was cool to exchange letters with Bryce. I enjoyed reading about the challenges he faced and the accomplishments he earned, and I got to share Bible verses and encourage him along the way. After completing basic training, Bryce then went on to advanced training, where he became trained as a Black Hawk helicopter mechanic at Fort Eustis, Virginia. I was able and had the privilege of attending both of his Army graduations. I made sure I wasn't going to miss those since I missed the college one. It was fun to coordinate the trips to Oklahoma and Virginia with his mom. I was able to pick her up each day and take her to the base to make sure she got to see her son in his uniform and graduating. By the way, his mom deserves a lot of credit raising and supporting him. She is his #1 fan. And she has done a great job raising a respectful young man that is polite, kind, committed, uplifting, and supportive. Bryce was very grateful for his military training, and the support from his mother means a lot to him. Bryce is now 23 and started his first professional job just this last month. He is working with the Army Corps of Engineers in Omaha. I am so proud of him. I don't have kids of my own, but I can imagine this is what a proud father would feel like if I did. And it really has been rewarding to play a supportive role all these years. I still get to have meals with him when he's back home. And guess what? Now he pays. And we will still share texts here and there to keep up to date and encourage each other. What an amazing journey that started 15 years ago with partners. I am grateful, and I look forward to my continued friendship with Bryce for years to come. I believe in the value of mentoring in the Partners Organization so much that I recently returned to be a senior partner this last fall. In this new partnership, I get to invest again in the young man and teach him skills. Like recently, I taught him how to tie a tie. But I also have learned from him to not forget to be adventurous and have fun. Like when I saw him enjoying playing in the mud at Horsetooth Reservoir, and I decided I should join him too. You never know what you might learn in a mentoring relationship or what you might get to teach. It is so worthwhile, and the experience has made me a better person. Thank you for your support of this great organization that allows someone like me make a difference in the community, to have a lifelong friend, and to be changed for the better with the rewards of mentoring. Now, back to the name or names that you might have thought of or wrote down. I want to encourage you to contact that person or persons this next week if you can, and thank them for the support they gave you. I'll be contacting one of my mentors, Mark. And don't forget, you are all in this room because you care about local youth, and this is your opportunity to be committed, uplifting, and supportive. Thank you, and God bless.